Welcome to Your Soul Wisdom, hosted by Yana Amor Manocas. In each episode, we invite you on a transformative journey delving into the profound mysteries and wisdom of the soul. Join us as we explore a wide array of spiritual topics and sacred practices that nurture and heal the soul, from reincarnation and soul contracts to the enigmatic experiences of womb alchemy and astral travel. Our discussions are designed to enlighten, inspire, and deepen your understanding of your own soul's journey. With Your Soul Wisdom, nothing is off limits. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Your Soul Wisdom. We have an interesting one today that was inspired by this insane dream that I had. And I'm actually really hoping that by the time I share this, you guys actually also agree that there was some kind of significance to this, because I'm still trying to make sense of it. Now, also, everybody watching, you see this beautiful QR code above me. Go ahead and take a picture of it. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/@YourSoulWisdom. We will very soon in the near future be moving all of our videos, all of our content, everything onto the new channel. So don't forget to subscribe. Okay, ladies, we got to get right into it. Okay. So I called a meeting. I said, we need to talk about this dream that I had. And so I'm going to walk us through it. It was on the night that we record, or that evening we recorded with Soul Rita. Was that last week or so?
Mm.
And of course, we know
everybody, we haven't heard this because in pure Yana style, she hasn't told us a thing because we've got to save it for the episode.
Correct.
So we're all hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, she's good at keeping
just to be clear what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I wanted the genuine reaction and the real live reaction of the information that came in. Okay. So, we know that recording with Soul Rita, we had technical issues both times, different kinds. There's just so much energy, right? So it doesn't surprise me, because also, if I remember correctly, on that episode, we briefly mentioned, was it Men in Black? Like the movie? We did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, because I was like, I'm pretty sure, because that night I had this hefty dream of, essentially, it was dark and it felt like there were all these people that kept trying to kind of not kidnap me, but take me away. And it was like, you know how in the movie Men in Black, where they looked like humans, but when you got a really good look at them, they had odd bodies or odd ears. There were features on them where you're like, you're clearly not human. And you're trying to take me and steal me and do whatever with me. But it was one of those energies, okay? And so everywhere I was going, they're like, we need to take you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you have to come with us. You have to have the experience of the dark, of the opposite of what you're having now. And I was like, excuse me? And now at this point, we're both tired because they're chasing me, whatever. We're sitting outdoors, me and these Men in Black type of humanoids. Yeah, we're all just kind of sitting in the front stoop of this house. It's nighttime. And I'm like, I don't understand why you want to take me. And they said, listen, everybody has to experience both the light and the dark, the good and the bad. And so you have to have the experience of being in that darkness. You can't just have the lightness. And so we have to take you with us. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I refuse to allow this to be a thing. And they're like, look, just the way that there is the God of light, there is also the God of dark. And think of them like brothers. And I'm sitting there, even in my dream, and my mind's like exploding. Like, what? What are you saying to me? And they're like, regardless of what you do, you have to have this experience. You can't control it. So it was as if they're reading my minds, and I'm thinking, I'm going to jump in my car. I'm going to get the hell out of here. And the guy says to me very calmly, well, if you get in your car, we're going to get a whole bunch of children to surround your car, because you're not going to run over the children. So we're going to catch you anyway. And I was like, no fucking way. So I get in my car. And as I'm starting to drive away, I was like, there they are, these little kids. And when I say little kids, I mean 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, little children are surrounding the car. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm having this internal panic that I'm going to have to go into the darkness.
Run them over.
Well, listen,
Like, it's not the. Okay, sorry, go on.
Let me ask this question. Is anybody able to control anything in their dreams?
Sometimes.
Not all the time. Sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Okay.
Which is lucid dreaming.
I'm almost a non-dreamer. For anyone listening to this, it's like, I don't even have the dreams. Yeah, I feel you.
Okay. I'm somebody, it's like I'm in the movie, but I'm also powerless, where I may want to just take off, but I can't get my body in my dream to do the action. Okay. And so it's like I have to watch this play out against all resistance. And so little by little, I finally get away from the kids. And everywhere I went back to my house. It was like this weird home. Anyway, every scene that kept playing, these men in black, these alien humanoids were like, you've got to stop. You have to have this experience. Every single soul has this experience, whether you like it or not. And so I'm waking up and I'm like, what the fuck did I just dream? Number one. And there is this part of me that also feels like Earth is kind of like that. You know how they're like, there's heaven and hell, and hell. And I'm like, well, I feel like hell could also kind of like Earth can kind of be hell, because there's so much darkness and negativity and all that stuff. I'm like, I feel like I'm already experiencing that. I don't want to experience anything worse. But this energy of there are two similar higher powers, and one is light and one is dark, and you have to have the experience of both, has really stayed with me, because I don't hide away my shadows. I'm very aware of the darkness within me, my mistakes, the things I've done, the mistakes that I've made in life. I'm very open and honest about them at this point in my life. But I just think, like, I don't want to experience true darkness. And so I can't shake this feeling of, holy shit, is that something that is actually happening? Anybody?
Well, I've got heaps to
Absolutely.
say, but it's not very dreamscapey kind of way, and it's not that spiritual, to be honest. So I'll let the other ladies go, and then at the end, if there's just boring 3D rage time, then I'll pop in then.
Okay, you guys are killing me. Seriously, nobody
really
has
Yes.
anything to say about
I'm
this?
waiting for Amanda because
Me.
we're waiting for
No,
Amanda. I'm
Kylie.
waiting for Amanda.
Kylie, you
Okay.
started talking.
You guys,
I can see.
let's go.
Okay. So for me, I would wonder at what level the dream's coming from. I'd wonder at what level, for me, this is what I'm saying, dimensionally, where that dream is coming from. Because what was clearly omitted from that dream was free will. Okay.
Mhm.
If what the dream meant or felt for you, that in this earth plane that you have to experience duality because that's how it was created, then I guess that's so. However, what I'm trying to understand, which is where I was in terms of thinking, is why would they? So they were chasing you to get you to understand this, to get you to accept this. Is that's what was happening? That's what I want to hear.
To get me to accept it, but also to take me to that experience of the darkness.
Right. Okay.
And it
Then-
wasn't like it wasn't like, okay, on Earth you're going to experience that light and the dark. It was like, we're taking you somewhere. It was like off planet to a whole other planet, if you will, or place,
Yeah.
if you will, to experience that.
Okay. So this is what I say. Sometimes when you reach a particular frequency, it is about reaching a particular frequency or a particular kind of awareness where you're very close to sort of to really stepping outside of the matrix, or having the ability for me to be able to shift. Things begin to happen that for me begin to limit that experience. So in a way, I sometimes call it a matrix snapback, and that can happen in many different ways. So it can happen, like, say, like in business or in your work or stuff like that. If suddenly everything's going really great and you're really flying, and suddenly it's almost like a rubber band, it comes back at you and everything kind of starts happening or going wrong in that way. So for me, what that feels like, you have expanded in a particular way that for me, the matrix is not really liking. And so what it's doing is it's trying to put you back into the story, back into the old. This is what you need to realize. This is the duality. This is the light and the dark. You need to experience it. There is nothing. Because what we're really supposed to understand, or what we're really supposed to know, is that this planet is supposed to be all source and everything's like that. It's supposed to be very, very benevolent, very loving, very kind. There would be no reason in any way, shape, or form that you would need to experience the dark. And if that is the case, why are they taking you off planet? So it's not true. It's not the case. I think you're expanding in such a way that there's certain powers that be that don't like it. And so that's, for me, that's what's happening.
Interesting. To come through, with what Amanda said, there are lots of different types of dreams, I believe, and I won't go into those right now, but I have been reading this book called The Triple Design Matrix, and it's based on your human design when you go to sleep, because it completely changes. And I haven't studied it, but when you go into the various gates and things, you've got the demon realm and the light field and the earth plane, I believe. They're the three sort of sections. What is interesting about the book is it talks about the program being what we're in. And when you go to sleep, depending on your centers, your gates, all of those things, you do actually you can get conditioned in your sleep. So you can help, the other side of the world clear their issues or whatever it may be, or you can be programmed in a way. So our conditioning at night when we sleep through our human design, which we sort of can't control. Well, I haven't finished the book yet. The program's trying to get us to do certain things based on how we're designed. So I know there are some of mine where while I sleep, I'm helping the other side of the world process a particular theme, which is not fun. But there are other ones too where it brings through information for the benefit of humanity. So I don't know enough about it to go more into it, but it's a really interesting concept, because for me, I've talked about lucid dreams before, prophetic dreams, traveling through dimensions, what it feels like. But there's also this other element of essentially programming and conditioning that can happen when we sleep. And I just felt like that related a little bit to what Amanda was saying.
Yeah. Can I just ask you quickly, what time, can you remember kind of the hours between what time you had the dream?
Well, I woke up from it at 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m., something like that in the morning.
So it's in the morning, right?
It was in the morning. Now, I will usually wake up a few times a night and have massive different dreams. And I'll remember almost all of them for like that first 5 minutes, and then they start to kind of go away. But this one woke me up in the morning, and it just felt like, I will say this, ever since I had my reading with Soul Rita, which was a couple months ago at this point.
I'm just grabbing something.
I've always had dreams where like, I'm like, it feels so real. It feels almost tangible. And so
book's coming out.
Book's coming out. But ever since my reading with my session with Soul Rita, where she's like, you have this guide here and there's so much work to do, like through the dream realm. So like, it's like, it was almost like the initiation. It almost feels like every night I'm having these really real experiences that I wake up and I'm like, there's no way that was just a dream. But that was the first one that felt, it was almost like I was given some kind of universal knowledge that perhaps I shouldn't have had. But the men were like, you know what? Look, here's why we have to take you. This is just how it is. And I was like, I'm not giving into that. Like, I can't allow that to be a thing. And it really shifted me when, he's like, think of them like two brothers. I don't want to think of them like two brothers. I don't want to make that link. It was wild.
Right, can I just start quickly, because this is what I'm looking for, right, is the meridians that are running. So I just want to ask Lauren. Can you
Oh, I
go
can tell
over?
you.
Rachel is like a diary
Perfect.
encyclopedia of
What's the meridian question?
Yes,
the
what's
time
the
of the
meridian
morning.
question is, the time of the
5 to
morning,
7.
what's the meridian running and what's the organs? That's,
So 5 to
yeah,
7 is large intestine, and it's metal, and it's the predominant emotion is dogmatically positioned, and then it is linked to lung, and that is grief.
okay. All right. So
And
it's
then at 7, it's stomach.
okay.
And stomach is earth, and it's predominant. It's low self-esteem, oversympathy. It's those
Okay.
kind of emotions.
Okay. But it's the large
But I think it's much more
intestines.
likely it's metal.
What the large intestines?
Yep.
So it's about
Yeah.
digesting information.
Yeah, from 5 to
From
7.
5 to 7, yeah. So it's about digesting.
Well, look, that's small intestine is
Small intestine.
digesting
Sorry, go on.
more,
Yeah.
and that's fire. So large intestine is predominantly, the main emotion is dogmatically positioned. You're stuck, that kind of thing. But as I said, large intestine is linked to lung, and it's the middle meridian, so it's also grief and those emotions in between. So what I think is interesting, Yana, is now that I think about it, you and I did that Lifeline session recently. I can't remember what day that was, but I do remember that you came up with all of the metal emotions.
So what does that mean? Break it down for us non-meridian.
Well, I don't know.
Regular
I don't
humans.
know what to. I don't know what to say about what it means in this moment. Like, literally, it means that perhaps you're stuck and you're not dogmatically positioned. Is actually not. It's more than stuck. It's sort of. It's sort of like unwilling to look at different things. And when I said, "Oh, there's lots coming up for me in the 3D way," but I'll wait till the end because I understand that you guys are much more interested in the interplanetary sort of angle of this. And I find that interesting, and I want to know what everybody says. But just for me being one of your friends, and we talk about this openly, that I'm like, I can't remember which one I am. I'm Microsoft and you're Mac. Do you know what I mean? And we do our very best to sort of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
For me, and of course it's me projecting it all onto you. I mean, it amuses me no end when you say things to me like, I need this to stop, Rachel. And as I say, it's like something like gravity. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be hard, but cool. It's definitely always got something to do with physics, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And my belief, and it's funny because it's it's right in the middle of the Jewish high holy days at the moment, and I'm not although I'm racially Jewish, I'm certainly not an expert on it, but I do really like the aspect that Jews believe that there's always something bitter in the sweetness, as in when Jews get married, they step on a glass to symbolize the temple being destroyed, but that's also the bitter thing that happened at the wedding, so nothing else needs to be bitter. And when people die, it's traditional to give like sweet food because it's already so bitter. You need this is the sweet thing in the bitterness, that kind of thing. And when you were talking about that, that's all it said to me is like, for me, and this is all my belief that I'm totally projecting onto you, that the darkness isn't that bad, and it is honestly the balance, and that the resistance to it is the thing that causes the sort of, I don't know, negative reality of it. I'm not expressing myself very well, and so I'm starting to get lost.
But I do
now.
think,
but yeah, it was that kind of stuff that came up,
Rachel, because you were speaking about grief and being stuck, and in that dream, there is an element of I have no choice. I am stuck, and grief for the reality of light and dark, two gods. So I find that parallel interesting too.
Yeah, well, there you go. This is why there's the 5 of us building on each other's shiz and knowledge.
Kylie, have at it.
Yes, Kylie.
I am trying to dissect this from different angles, and I'm kind of imploding. So, isn't there a biblical reference to Lucifer and Michael being brothers, and one being ostracized or whatever, or banished to the lower realms, and they were brothers? So I do subscribe to the brother thing, the duality of that. So I think that's actually pretty accurate in my world, in my opinion. So I'm impressed that came through in a dream. because it's not always factually, accurate. But from my experience, when you have retained a dream this long and you've had an element of choice, that just screams travel, lucid dreaming, manipulation of a third party. So it definitely set off my spidey senses with that.
Yeah.
So the question is, what triggered it? That is my question. I'm not really wanting, I don't have a desire to pick it apart or the meaning of it. It's why for me. So if there is a correlation of Soul Reader and talking about ETs and Men in Black, what tripwire did you trip with through that energy? What is
Matrix?
No one needs to experience the duality. No one needs to experience
Nobody does.
the dark. No one needs to. There's no universal law on that.
Exactly.
Everyone goes through their human dark nights, but nothing on a spiritual level.
That is a must.
That's
a necessity.
right.
Nothing
In order
can tell
to
you
grow.
that.
Exactly. Like that almost breaks universal law. So to me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, so what is trying to shut me down? What is my purpose? Maybe I need to realign with the purpose, because it's now, now it's important in some aspect. So my reaction to you is, how do you feel? I'm going to do a Dr. Phil. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, 100%.
How do you feel about this?
100%. But also, can I just throw in there's nothing good about this. That's for me. There's nothing good about it, because there's no way anybody would surround you with children to stop you from driving off. So as far as I'm
And
concerned,
know that is like an Achilles heel for you.
yeah,
Right.
you know
Like
what I mean?
that is an Achilles heel.
Clearly not for you, Kylie.
So there's nothing good
I
about
would
that.
run them over. But if it was a spider, I would be like, you know what, this is demon possession, because I've had those dreams when I know I've pushed it and something's coming through and it'll be filled with spiders. And I know, okay, got the message. But for you, like, yeah.
So you saying that, that children are Yana's Achilles heel just triggered my memory to something Charlie Morley said. And so Charlie Morley is in the UK. He's written books on lucid dreaming, done studies with lucid dreaming. I love him. And what he says is everything that you meet in your dream, so this is part of that. Everything you meet in your dream is actually part of your subconscious. So there's a book he's written where how to get lucid in the dream so that you can then interact with whatever's coming at you to, I guess, heal a part of yourself, whatever that may be. So that's one aspect of it. But as that could be coming up, right? There might be something for Yana to work through. Otherwise, it can definitely be something else. I mean, we were speaking with Soul Reader, I've certainly had experiences that have been otherworldly while I'm asleep as well. So I think it can be a lot of things. What I do know is when you remember a dream, there is something in it for you and to pay attention. So write it down, reflect on it through the day. And sometimes I'll be driving and something will hit me. So it sort of comes with paying attention to it.
Yeah,
What did you have for
it's
dinner?
interesting because
Yana, what did you have for dinner the night before?
Did you have indigestion?
Was it chicken?
You need milk and magnesium. What did you have for dinner? Seriously, what did you have for dinner?
I don't know.
Did you have a big fat steak?
I don't even know.
But it really is
Did you have a lot
about
of-
figuring out your dream language, so to speak. Like, so, okay, if I have a dream with an animal in it, it's usually prophetic. Okay, so I know that when I have a dream, it's symbolic and it's prophetic. The times where I have, I've been completely lucid meeting my father, however I've done that in my dreams because he has passed. And then the other times where things are really sort of hectic and I know I wake up feeling like I've worked all night. They have a particular feel to them as well. So it's, I'm a big believer in there's just not one way to decipher dreams, because personally I've had so many, I've had past lives come up in dreams and I've been through the experience as well. So I just think it's
So
really
past
important to
life,
start paying attention.
so past life coming up in your dreams wouldn't necessarily be part of your
No,
subconscious.
no. But that's
So
lucid dreaming I'm talking about. So that's what I mean. There are so many viewpoints on
okay.
dreaming. Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
lucid dreaming I was speaking about. And that's a way
Yeah.
to, work with healing and, PTSD and all sorts of things you can do with lucid dreaming. I mean, you
And
can
that.
also, lucid dreaming, it's the Buddhists have, I believe it's dream yoga that they do, which is like akin to lucid dreaming. I believe it's the same thing because they're preparing to pass over consciously. So when they enter the bardo, they're still conscious, which is the void, right? So
Right.
there are so many
Yeah.
different types of dreams. There are so many different experts with dreams. And so for me, I never feel like it's one thing. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to what's coming up for you and to build up your dream book based on your experience, but take
Yeah.
in those
Totally
other
agree.
things. Mhm.
I totally agree. There are standard things, but say like for me, when I dream, if I fall into a deep sleep between 5 and 7 in the morning, sometimes those
It's
are some of my
peak lucid
worst
dreaming time.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my worst dreams. It's some of like it's like
Mm.
it's almost what nightmares are made of kind of thing. It's very, very vivid. It's very, very, it's chased, hunted. There's something horrible happening. And I guess those are the times where there are, I don't know, like we said, the meridians that's working, whatever. That's maybe where something's kicking in. I don't know. But those are always my worst dreams. So if my husband's going to get a thump in the morning, then it's going to be because of that dream. Do you know what I mean? Kicked out of bed. But but yeah, but I think there's some very, very clear things inside that dream that would probably have made me wake up saying screw you and the hole you came out of. Go
Mm.
right back.
Well,
Put a
it's
first class
funny
stamp on them and
because,
send them back.
well, Kylie, you actually connected that for me because you said, isn't there a story with Archangel Michael and Lucifer, right? And the whole duality thing. Well, Aleph, which is the one frequency in our soul contract work, is connected to Archangel Michael and the ability to see outside of duality, meaning I'm not part of the earth and I'm not of the earth. Like it's like I'm not in the situation, I'm not out of the situation. I could see all sides at once without being in one or the other. And so it's
Which is kind
what
of what I was trying to express before, just by the way.
Mhm.
go
When I
ahead.
got all
Yeah, yeah.
muddled and I was
Yeah.
trying to go the resistance, that's what I mean, is that when you don't resist, you see it as a whole thing and that it's neither good or bad, it's just a whole thing,
Mhm.
kind of. That's what I was trying to express before. I beg your pardon,
So
Yana.
Yeah.
so I'm trying
Makes sense.
I've been since that. Okay, so since that dream, of course, I've carried it with me. I've also then since sat with Esther Hicks, right, where Abraham says there's only love. There's nothing else but love. This entire universe is made of love. And so I hear Abraham, inches from my face saying this to me. And I'm thinking of, well, I had this experience because I can't just call it a dream. It was an actual experience. I had this experience where I'm being told, well, there's both. There's the love and there's the dark and, all of that, the light and the dark. And you have to have that experience. And I'm fighting it with every single cell in my body because I'm like, that doesn't feel good to me. The idea that at some point, and I'm not saying that at some point in my physical reality right now, before I pass away, I'm going to experience that. I mean, the idea that there's another part of my soul or my essence that's experiencing that or that's going to have to go experience that doesn't feel good to me at all. And so I'm trying to just completely release this because I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I dream that? Why did I dream of like some sexy hunk or like some beautiful universal information that is about the love? Why the darkness? Why this heavy, heavy thing? Why?
Why does it have to be heavy
Mm,
or bad?
mm.
I'm
Why
just
can't it just be
wondering
dark?
yeah, why can't it just be what it is and it doesn't have to touch you? It
Yeah.
can still exist, it can still be there, it doesn't have to affect you. And you're protected. You
Oh,
wouldn't have been taken. You know this. So, and I know you know this on every level of your being. So I'm just questioning.
Well,
Okay, so then why
why
even offer the information to me?
so having had some dark, heavy dreams that have affected me, they were for a purpose, whether it be for my knowledge, for, to kick me into a direction of healing, whatever it may be. So maybe Kylie would have had that dream that you had and not been impacted because she's not as triggered by the dark, right?
Yeah.
So I think what Kylie's saying is, why is it triggering you? So it is touching on something that is a sore point, right?
Because I know that you can go to a haunted place and you're like, no, that's not my reality because I'm protected. So why wouldn't your reality in your dream state also be protected? And why is that faith not in that realm as well?
I do feel protected. I 100% wholeheartedly feel protected. Perhaps that whole duality thing is a huge thing in where you're saying, why does it have to be a bad thing? Why does it have to be this thing? And I will say, even a few years ago, when people were like, well, you have to experience the lightness and the darkness within you and blah blah blah, I'd be like, get away from me. Like, I want no darkness. I don't want to step into that space. I couldn't even say the word devil without having all this energy come up and this resistance. And so perhaps this is just kind of like the next thing that's being presented to me to then neutralize that energy with it, so then it could just be. Because I remember last year there was a song that I loved, this song, okay? But it had the word devil in it. And at first I would skip over that word. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to say it because I'm not going to give it the power that, in essence, that word is given, right? Or that
But
entity is
but
given.
also, when people talk about the darkness within you, like, okay, let's define what that is, right? Because when we're talking about shadow work, whatever it be, they are parts of our human
Right.
that we judge as not being desirable. Let's be honest.
Correct.
Humans place judgment on experiences, ways of being, etc. To my knowledge, spirit source doesn't. It's that we have duality on this 3D experience, that we have good and bad, and humans live in that judgment. So the darkness within us that's our judgment. But really, when you do that
100%.
work, it's loving all parts of that. I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know what I'm getting at, but anyway, someone pick up from there.
We'd never choose the darkness within us as well. So, the darkness within us is our unconscious, subconscious, programmed, conditioned self. Our shadow side is things that we need to choose to share if we want to, for whatever reason, because they are naturally hidden. It's like you almost have to discover your shadow side. But yeah. But Yana, and it's like feel like I've had so little life experience this year. I can't even think of examples, but I absolutely promise you, if I had all the people I worked with for my, in the last 10 years, they'd all back me up, that it honestly got to the stage at work that if anything bad happened or anything that we would just sit back and go, what amazing thing is going to come out of this situation? Because it always just seemed to go in this really weird cycle. Like, we'd lose a brand, but then we would get offered this amazing brand that we wouldn't have been able to say yes to if we hadn't just lost that brand because of competition or something. Like, it would just go round and round and round like this over and over again, until it almost sort of loosened me up of like, stop trying to judge things as being good, or it's only what it seems like at the time.
Do you know what?
Because,
but listen,
3 weeks
I-
later, I'm grateful for
Do you
this
know what?
situation.
Can I just say, there's a lot of manipulation in this dream. I just can't get over the fact there is just manipulation in it. And so as far as I'm concerned, this is how I would deep it, because of where I come from. Okay. That if this was what was said to me, I think I would say in the dream, if I had the ability to say in the dream, yeah, thought about it, and no. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything, and it doesn't matter. And so for me, I could understand why a dream would come like that to me, maybe because I'm the one that says two fingers up to all this duality stuff, and that I'm just not interested in it anymore, purely because of the understanding that ties you into, say, like with the law of attraction, in a sense, the law of opposites also goes into, there's also cause and effect. And I just don't give a flying toenail for it. And that's what I'm saying. I just think that a lot of things have happened to manipulate and to tamper with the true way of being. And so what that then does is that creates, in a sense, the massive contrast that we experience. We get into that loop and we cannot seem to get out of it. And for every lifetime, which is why I always say that if your job, if you feel that your purpose is here, is to clear up karma and all that kind of stuff and to learn all these lessons, but then, go, you have right at it. You'll be at it for another 600,000 of lifetimes. You literally will. Well, because you are creating karma every second, every minute, every hour, every day. You are creating karma. You only have to look at somebody crossways and you're creating karma. Because when they go and sit down in front of their therapist, it would be, well, I wore this dress today and I wasn't too sure about it, and I felt the dress was tight. I got to the bus stop and somebody looked at me really strange as if I was wearing the wrong dress. And now, it's just like, and I could always remember this, and it happened 10 years ago, but I always remember it. And I just know this is, and that's why I'm here. I swear to God, you have no idea. Then what happens is that you get to the other side, that person comes and finds you and says, well, you created all this stuff in me, you triggered me in all these different kinds of ways. So can we go back to Earth next time and can we heal it, and can you learn compassion, or empathy, for whatever old me that was there. And then you go, oh, okay, then, because we're going to have to clear this karmic debt. And this is the bullshit that we keep living out every single time. There is always going to be something that you're clearing. There is always going to be something that you're doing. For me, inside that dream, there was far too much manipulation. If that dream was really from me, from anywhere that was good, or anywhere that's coming to teach you something, or to help you to remember maybe the mechanics, the physics of the universe and how it all works, it would have been done in such a way whereby you would have been sitting down having a conversation, and they would have probably brought up on the screen and showed you sometimes how things work, how things can balance out, how sometimes things can look probably positive, how sometimes things can look probably negative, but what's come out of that experience, maybe that had to happen in order for this to happen, or whatever. But to come and tell me, chase me down the goddamn road, got me out of breath and all that kind of shit, are you nuts? All I'm going to say to you is, do you know what? Don't come for me unless I send for you. This is not okay. So,
Amanda,
and surrounding my car. Yes. Wow.
I have a
Crashed out.
question.
What's going
No,
on?
no, it's okay. Come back here. So
Yeah,
I have a question.
I'm here.
I think it was when we were recording yesterday and we had a chat afterwards, and you mentioned, I think it was two brothers too. So I'm just interested to know if that relates.
Oh,
Yeah.
which two brothers did I mention?
Enlil?
Oh,
Is it?
Enlil and
Is it got,
Enki.
yeah, does that have anything to do with this? I only say it
Well,
because you were mentioning brothers and Yana's talking about brothers.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah, but I think Enlil and Inky, well, I think it was which one? Enlil was supposed to be what they considered to be what was evil. And so it's out of Enlil came a particular I don't know, group of beings, and out of Enki came another set of beings and all that kind of stuff. But what I was really relating to in that is that the origins of Earth, we don't really have the truth of the origins.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm just wondering if
It's that-
Yana's dream relates to those. I mean, it's a separate conversation, but it's interesting
yeah,
that
but
within
she
2
had the
days we've
dream.
had that. No, I know.
Yeah, she had the
Yeah,
dream.
but that's
Oh, the
irrelevant.
two brothers. Yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah.
welcome to the
Okay.
conversation, Amanda.
She's there. I've got her there.
Okay.
So I'm just
All
wondering
right.
if,
Back in the room. Yeah.
yeah, back in the room, I'm wondering if
Yeah.
anything in Yana's dream you can relate to the story of those brothers.
Well, what I'll say is this, is what I was just kind of speaking on. The origins of this universe and the origins of this earth is not what we think it is. And people seem to only be able to go back as far as Egypt. It went back much more further than that. There's been many, many different civilizations. And some of those civilizations we have absolutely no record of, in a sense, no physical records or proof of that they existed, but they did. Because people have a way of remembering. It's in your DNA, it's in your cells. And obviously at night you travel and you do all kinds of things. So it's highly possible that you like physics. That's what Rachel's saying about you. You like the mechanics of how things have come to be. Maybe that's a part of it. If you maybe like have a look at Sumerian history, and maybe you do have to look at Enlil, Enki, that would come out of all the, I think that's maybe coming from, oh God, I forget, but there's all of that kind of, all the information is out there in a sense of the
Does
fact
that
that
relate
they
to the
exist.
emerald tablets as well?
I think it does. I think
Yeah.
Emerald Tablets is Thoth, and I think they're all
Yes.
related in some
Mm.
way, but the origins, we do not have the truth.
You guys, I'm wearing emerald right
I know.
now.
Right.
So
Well, then
I
maybe
just
that's where you're supposed to go.
was saying, what if you had that
Lauren,
dream
see,
to have
Lauren
this
figured
conversation,
that out.
to go in that
Station,
direction? Just
go in
saying,
that
like,
direction.
yeah.
Correct.
Boom.
Correct. Because along with all of that came, look, there's a lot of talk right now about the Anunnaki, the creation of humans, how they were created, the original creation of humans and things like that. The giants. There's so much information. There's so much talking about that now. They have found giant skeletons, literally 10
Yeah,
foot,
they have.
12-foot skeletons. They're there. It's not a lie. They existed. You know, we often question it and then it's wiped. We question it and then it's wiped. How certain structures came into being, how certain pyramids came into being, how they were cut, how these things were done. You know, humans seem to think they have this way of thinking, and part of it is because memory has been wiped, that we're the only existing people in the whole of the universe or any other galaxy. For some reason, human beings that can't seem to last more than 80 years are the only things that exist anywhere. Do you know what I mean? That's about the length of our lives. There are so many stories that tell a different story, and it's really interesting. Obviously, what we recorded yesterday in terms of, you know, religion, the Bible, and everything like that, and the limitations that it has. It's all of that that's involved. Doesn't tell you the true story about how human being DNA has been tampered with. We know that human beings live longer than 100 years. But you living longer than 100 years doesn't make the game tasty. You know, if you're going to be living up to 400 years old, yeah, the game of reincarnation, you know, there's no fun in that. Who wants to play Monopoly for 400 fucking years? Excuse my language. So we'll chop you down to 80, and you know, and we'll get you on that wheel and we'll keep you coming back, and it's more enjoyable, you know.
So
And you'll
I
keep
have a
feeding.
question for Yana. Like, in what we've been speaking about, you know, to say maybe there's this direction to go into, you know, how do you feel about
Yeah.
that?
Stay on track, Amanda. Yeah.
So-
Stay with Lauren.
Listen, I am the person that wants to know the truth about everything, and I need to know the
Correct.
answer.
Yeah. There you go.
But I'm also not a researcher. And I know that may sound wild.
I disagree.
So expect it to show up in your dreams then.
Yeah.
Give
Give them instructions to
tell
give you
you-
all
no,
the
no, no.
information in your dreams if you're not going to research it. But I think you're a very good
Right.
researcher. Just saying.
Listen, everything that I have learned or have received in my life has been dropped in front of me. Listen, if anyone who knows me, I'm not a lazy person. It's not about, oh, I'm too lazy to do this thing. I think I'm so overwhelmed. There's just so much every day that I've never prioritized that kind of thing to dig more deeper. Because I'm always like, the answer is going to come to me. I know it's going to come to me. I'm going to get the download. I'm going to get the book. Someone's going to say something like this conversation, and it's going to come to me. And then dots will be connected, because my 11-2s need dots to be connected.
Yeah.
And it's like the wildest thing. But it's almost like I have this thing where I'm like, I don't want to waste an hour. And I know that sounds crazy. I don't want to waste an hour researching something. I can't. I have to immediately.
What if it's an
If I'm
excellent
traveling,
video on Gaia or
I know.
something? No, you watch
I
YouTube
know.
videos, surely.
It's rare. It's rare that
Ah.
I deep dive like that. Rare. Because I'm like, okay, this is just too much. I'm too much time. I need to move on. Like if I'm planning a
So, yeah.
trip, I'm like, oh, this is the first ticket I found, done. Oh, the first hotel, done. That's it. Like I'm not like, let me look at all the spots and like all the places to be. Like I don't have the energy or the desire for that. It's crazy. But that is how my life is. I'm like, this is what I want. Okay, this is what comes up, done. No more time to waste on this. Let's move on. I know that sounds so
So,
terrible, you
Yana,
guys.
is there anything that any of us have said to you that sort of pinged for you?
Yeah,
So tell us
absolutely.
your version now
No,
of where you're at with the dream after hearing this kind of stuff, and what you think it might have been for you.
listen, I know that this dream was something significant for me from the moment I woke up. Okay. I at no point felt like I was going to be taken, like for real, that my life was in jeopardy, nothing like that. But it felt like there was a very symbolic and important message that I was receiving. Now, it's interesting that Kylie's connecting these duality dots, and now Lauren's bringing up the brothers of the emerald, whatever. And I'm like, okay, clearly this is something meant for me to know or hear or whatever. And so I'm, maybe I'll just put into like some kind of Google search and see if I can get some short answer that may intrigue me.
If
I
can
feel
you
like
watch the video.
You will
yes,
never see
No,
things
I
again in the
will.
same way.
No, I will, because here's the thing. It has a huge imprint on me, and I can't shake it. And it's for a reason. I can't
No, that's why I was saying you'll never see things again in the same way. Once you dive.
Okay, there's also a problem. Here's the thing. There's also a problem with that, because I feel like every time I take that huge leap into, I was going to say down, but that huge leap into like a whole new piece of universal truth and understanding, I'm like, holy shit. And it takes me a few days to process it, maybe sometimes weeks, to really process it and allow it to be what it is.
Yeah.
But then there's also your everyday life that comes in.
Yeah.
And this is my first dream. Like, I don't dream of aliens or like being taken off world. Like, that's not a space where I live in my dreams. It's never been like that. So this is also the first one of that type of nature. And I'm like, there wasn't fear. It was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing any part of me to dive into that. And that's what it felt like. So I don't know. Perhaps I need to sit more with it or watch the video that Lauren's going to send me, and that'll.
I'm going to find one
But
for
again,
you. Yeah.
If we live in a world of no coincidences, there is no coincidence. And honestly, this dress, why did I wear this out of everything? This is a Christmassy color. Why did I put this on today? I have no idea. But this is absolute validation to, okay, there's something more, and just keep following those breadcrumbs. But, I need someone to do the work for me.
Yeah.
But does it need to be that, like, I'm not discounting the power of this dream, but does it need to be
that's significant?
dissected? Yeah.
I don't know.
Can it just be an acknowledgement and move on?
We'll find out, I guess.
It could be, but I think Lauren really wants me to look at this video,
which I haven't found yet. But I do know there are some. So I will find something. No, I think that when something makes an impression on you, and you feel like it's significant, it's good to get curious and explore it. Okay, we don't really know at this point the purpose of that dream, but what we do know is we will find out over time as things come together. So maybe it will not end up anywhere, and maybe it will end up
It will
in
go
Yana.
somewhere. But can I?
Yeah.
Can I just ask? I just asked really quickly, right? Don't laugh, okay? Right.
No.
So
Is this another steak question?
Mm.
You're already laughing, man. How
no,
can we not laugh?
but where in your dream did you mention two brothers?
It was when this Men in Black alien humanoid
Yeah.
said to me,
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm not going to this dark place, whatever this
Right.
other planet was.
Yeah.
And he was just like very calmly, like almost like he was telling me a secret, like, look, I have to take you because everybody goes through this experience. Whether you like it or not, we all have to experience it.
Right.
And he brought up, he's like, view it like the two brothers. And whatever words were used, I can't remember. I know he said the two brothers, but I can't remember the exact words, but essentially it was the example of just like there's the lightness of God, there's also this darker brother, if you will. And you have to experience both of them. And he was very calm, like, you know.
I think I do think it is to do with what Lauren's saying. But I mean, I like the fact that obviously you mentioned Archangel Michael, and Lucifer, because they were effectively brothers, and effectively Lucifer meant morning star, and Michael loved Lucifer, adored him. And it was in fact Michael that wanted a second chance for Lucifer, and Lucifer was released and brought to Earth. This is one story, but Lucifer was just a bad boy, and so he was just going to do what he wanted to do, and everything.
Have you
like
watched
that.
the Netflix series?
No, I haven't. Actually.
I've heard it's really good.
I haven't.
It's really good.
Yeah, and so he got locked into the back world, and so ever since that, he's been trying to be released from the black world, or get out from the back world in order to come into humanity. There was also another god that came with. It was another god that brought in Archangel Michael into this universe. But I think there's something to be said for, say, within our, just like how we know through many different religions and belief stories, there are these same beings. They're just called different names, and they're just
there's threads.
It's the same story that's been played out. So I think there is something. I have no idea. I cannot remember why I mentioned El Lil and Enki, but I think there's something in that. There's a reason why they would say two brothers. Yeah. It's just very strange wordage, verbiage.
So we'll have to record a podcast when we know.
Something else to keep in mind is that we associate source with an energy, not necessarily as God or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and it's the same for the underworld. It's not Lucifer who's in charge of the underworld. He's just known as part of it, but he's not running it. It's just like an energy that runs that, like it does up. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. To be continued.
All right. So
when we have answers.
To be continued when Lauren gives me all the information that I need.
It's like Lauren.
So we're at the top of the hour. Have you got a card for us, Kylie?
It's running
I love it when she speaks to you like that. Don't make that face.
Come on. Yeah, bosses me around like that.
Did you pick one earlier?
Okay.
Yes,
I did. Okay, I picked from my Rachel Campbell deck again because it was out on my
name's
desk.
Rebecca, honey. Sorry, I got to correct you today.
Rebecca,
you said Rachel.
What did I say?
You keep saying Rachel.
Oh, Rachel. Oh, hello.
Maybe it should have been Rachel.
You want to talk about this? Maybe Rachel needs her. Okay, for another episode. Jump in.
Ooh.
And I pulled this before I knew. So jump in. It is Andromedan energy. So it's very
that's the closest. Energy. I just sent a thing to Lauren today that Andromeda is the most visible it's going to be in 2 billion trillion whatever.
Well, we're jumping into it.
Maybe that's where we've been all night because it's close. We're like, we might as well just go there.
And I just got the goosebumps all over it. So it's
Yeah,
about
and
jumping
now you're
into
put.
that new energy and saying
I was
yes
so
and going on adventures and getting out of what we are comfortable in.
Mm.
And that's also
sweet.
very planetary astrological
Wow.
as well.
God,
Wow.
I feel all yarny
Okay.
now. I was just like, I need that to stop. Anyway.
Okay,
I'll let
listen.
you know. Stop with the collective energy because Rachel doesn't want it.
Right,
I'll let
totally.
you know. I'll pass it
It's like
on.
with Yana though. She says things like that. Oh, I need that to stop. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay,
Naughty
everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click or take a picture of this beautiful
You
QR
want Amanda
code.
to take over? Go on,
Yes,
Amanda.
Amanda. Tell people what to do with this QR code.
no, don't do that. Go on.
No, go ahead and click on this QR code and subscribe to our new channel. And don't forget to join the collective if you're interested in a reading, a healing, a guided meditation session, a light body activation. You want to say hello to Rachel. You want to contribute to whatever this dream is. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our content. It is the best way to support us, you guys. And for all of our information, go ahead and visit yoursoulwisdomshow.com. We thank you for allowing us to create this beautiful space, and we hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.